All right, y'all. So this is the honey mustard dipping sauce that Richie absolutely loves. Like I told y'all earlier, you can do it real Southern style with cream gravy. You can use it for that Springfield style cashew chicken, which is like a deep fried version of cashew chicken with the brown gravy and the chopped green onions and the cashews. Or you can do this kind of classic chicken nugget dipping sauce or barbecue sauce. This is just what Richie loves, and so I always make it. It's super simple. There's hardly anything to it. Here we have just, a nice heaping cup of cheap standard yellow mustard, a couple of tablespoons of mayonnaise. In the rest of the South, they all swear by Duke's. Down here on the Gulf, closer you get to New Orleans, it's all about blue plate mayonnaise. And then it does take a good bit of sugar. Now we use a sugar substitute here in our house. And then it has, I would say a nice little teaspoon of cinnamon. And there's a couple of shakes of red pepper. The more red pepper you add, the more it tastes like the Chinese hot mustard dipping sauce. But we're gonna go ahead and mix this up for y'all. So we have our bowl here. We have our mustard and we have our mayonnaise. So we'll do that first. So let's do the mayo. And then we'll do the mustard. Yeah! And I'm literally just gonna take the dry ingredients and dump them in here. Now, I know that most everybody else has recipes in the bio, but honestly, I think that I keep my stuff so simple, at least for now. We're just gonna do it like this because it's kind of like grandma. It's, a pinch of this and a dab of that, which is kind of how I always cook. I always say I cook by ear. And so you just mix this all together. And the longer it kind of sits, the more it has a chance to really turn into a scrumptious honey mustard dipping sauce. This is not quite the same thing as a honey mustard salad dressing. I wouldn't really compare it to that at all. Once I get it all mixed up together, I think I'm going to transfer it over to this nicer, neater looking bowl. And yeah, so that's kind of it in a nutshell. The honey mustard dipping sauce, and in a couple of minutes you get to watch my beautiful honey dipping his beautiful vegetarian fried chicken nugget right in it, and he'll be a happy boy. Alright guys, so we have our extra firm tofu. You're going to hear all kinds of stories about this and that and the other and how you're supposed to do all of this. You're supposed to freeze it, thaw it, freeze it, thaw it, press it out, reconstitute it with vegan chicken broth. I mean, there's all kinds of ways to do it, but I'm just showing you all the way we do it. We just go and we buy a block of the extra firm, all right? So you take it, cut it in half, cut that in half, cut that in half, and this is where it begins to get fun. So I take each one of these and I just break it and I just squeeze it on the spot. And I literally drop it into a bowl. And then as you see, I just break them again. I squeeze them on the spot. Put them in the bowl. All right guys, so here we are at our breading station. You can use flour. We actually use cornstarch because I think it gives it a super delicate little crusty thing going on. But you want to make sure that you kind of flash fry it, golden, flip it, golden, get it out of there because it does get really hard. I'm going to show y'all a couple of things that are standard in my arsenal. We have Tony Chachere's Creole seasoning, and this just goes in everything I cook. We have this brand right here, the Colgan Liquid Smoke. It's my absolute favorite, and the hickory. I'm just showing y'all kind of what I do. The blue plate mayonnaise is what we actually use in the dipping sauce that we're gonna make for Richie, the honey mustard. And of course, garlic powder, I can't live without that. And then this, that's the stuff right there. That's the stuff. I can do a whole Thanksgiving dinner vegan style using that veggie bouillon. I can make gumbo out of that. I can do whatever I need to. It tastes just like meat. So this right here has already been seasoned, but I'm gonna kind of show y'all just a little more garlic powder and then a little more of the Tony Chachere's. Make it nice, all right? So the first thing that we do is we take all of these wonderful tofu pieces, and you can do this in Ziploc bags, you can do this in old shopping bags, you can do this in paper bags. I did it here on the crawfish plate because I wanted y'all to be able to see. All right, so first thing is these get the single dip. This is kind of the paste. Now we are gonna make a little bit of an egg wash. If you wanna keep it vegan, you can use an egg substitute, or you can make what's called a slurry, and that means you just take some of the flour and water, or your cornmeal and water, and you make just kind of a really loose paste out of it, and you can do your double dip that way. But in this bowl that we've already used, we're gonna break one egg. Okay. We're gonna add a little bit of water to it. And then I'm gonna put a little bit of seasoning in here. And I'll be honest with you, I'm just gonna use my hand as a whisk because my hand's gonna be all up in there anyway. So, we take these pieces, we drop them in this egg bath. And do a few at a time. You wanna make sure they have room to move. And then they go back into the seasoned either flour or cornstarch, depending on what you're using. And like I said, we use the cornstarch because I just think it's so golden and flaky, but the crust on it will get really hard and super crunchy and almost hard to eat if you overcook it. So it's almost like a flash frying. It's not meat, it's not really chicken. So, that's all you're really doing is you're heating it through and you're getting it nice and golden. So now it gets really fun because we've got the real sticky, gooey goodness on here that's gonna give us this beautiful, beautiful Southern style, crispy, delicious crust. And that's pretty much it. You see, it's pretty simple. It's a little messy. It's also fun. The kids will love it because they like to get their hands and stuff, and that's just kind of how you have to do this. And then I kind of just, shake it up, move it around. All right, and I'm gonna meet y'all over at the stove and we're gonna fry this stuff up. All right, so we have our hot oil right here. I like to use my wok for deep frying. And then we've got our beautiful chicken pieces, and the way you tell is you just do that, and when it does that, it's ready to go. So drop these on in. I think I can get all of them in at the same time. Our beautiful seasoned cornmeal, our gorgeous chicken pieces. As you see, they are frying right up. They're already starting to look really pretty. It's not going to take any time at all. And we are going to have fried chicken. And you get to see the look on my husband's face, because this is one of his favorite things that I make. We don't have it very often. There was a while there that we were literally having fried tofu chicken every single night of the week, and we started getting fat. So I'll be right back to flip those for you, and you'll see how short of a minute it is.
They're gonna have this part, really? At least it's honest. It sure is yummy good though.
So I'm about to flip this chicken, quote unquote. As we know, it's actually tofu chicken, but we love it. And like I said, we don't cook it for too long because this delicate cornmeal breading, it gets really, really hard very, very quickly. But there's a perfect little state that it gets in. And I'll be honest with you, we're almost there. The moment that this begins to feel kind of golden, you see how that is? Right there, it's got a little bit of a golden touch to it. The moment we start seeing that, we know we're getting close.
How long would you recommend that they would brown it up for?
I would say, 2 minutes on each side.
2 minutes on each side?
Yeah,
Okay.
it doesn't take long at all.
It's so satisfying watching it.
Yeah, it's very ASMR or whatever they call it.
I think it's
ASMR. It's, when you watch stuff to relax and kind of like,
Right, ASMR, I think was a television radio station or something from a sitcom. I'm not quite sure, don't listen to me, but
So we're getting very close. Like I said, we don't want to overdo it, this meal. But you see how it's turning up now?
Yeah, that one looks yummy.
Yeah, so we're getting super close to the prize here. All right, guys, well, here we are, and we have our beautiful, beautiful chicken pieces. Honey, why don't you taste one?
Okay. I'm getting. I'm going for that one that I did Christmas.
Yeah. And then we've got the dipping sauce that you saw. And you know, this will be a different recipe, but y'all may have seen the one where I made the beautiful quesadillas, and we just pop them up as our bread.
I love this dipping sauce you created.
And I just did some veggie stir fries tonight with some cheese on top and a little bit of cream. But that's going to be for another time too. Tonight was all about the chicken. How is it? Is it good stuff?
Yeah, you should show them you eating one too.
Okay.
You're cooking.
Yum! You see it?
Oh, it's amazing.
Just that beautiful dipping sauce.
Mmm.
And, you know, as always, we have our sweet tea. Love you, baby.
I love you, baby. Here's
All
my
right.
love.
And as always, y'all, we have our beautiful, yeah, I just double dipped. It's okay, we're married. We have our beautiful,
That's funny. I wasn't dipping because we were recording.
we're married, we have our beautiful 30-minute for $40 virtual psychic reading special. And just give us a DM and we talk about all kinds of stuff. Food, hair, and of course magic. All right, well, we love you from the two energy workers here over in Bay St. Louis, Mississippi. Have a lovely night. Enjoy your chicken, your tofu. Bye.